Mental void, a meaningless concept. Hello. In a previous course, you noticed that it was impossible to keep the same thought in mind during the 2 minutes of the exercise, which consisted, remember, of thinking about an object, training to keep the same thought in mind for a long time, or even trying to create a permanent or temporary mental void of preventing thoughts from coming into consciousness, is like completely desynchronizing your own brain rhythms, which explains the headaches that people who train this way have constantly, accompanied by continuous fatigue. You don't get better concentration by training like this, even for a long time. On the contrary, you only disrupt the good functioning of the brain. All the experimenters observed that after doing this type of exercise for a long time, they have difficulty thinking. Thinking is paralyzed, which we will agree is not conducive to the development of the personality. This explains the practices of focusing thought, that is to say, of permanent concentration on the same idea, and of mental void systematically implemented in organizations that are not very praiseworthy, to weaken the thinking and critical sense of their members, to better manipulate them. However, what interests us in the context of phosphonism is not to paralyze thought and reflection, but on the contrary to improve mental processes. To do this, there is only one way, and that is to go in the natural direction of brain processes. In practice, this will mean letting thought evolve spontaneously, simply becoming aware of its content and following its evolution effortlessly. By letting thought naturally take its course, we let ourselves be carried away by it, carried by our own cerebral rhythms. That is to say, we finally allow thought to be organized and developed according to physiological laws, and not according to mechanical laws that are unrelated to its real nature. This attitude is extremely important. It determines the perception of mental processes that can easily be overlooked without being aware of them. We risk complaining about not having a result, when in reality we have prevented the natural evolution of thought and mental processes simply because we want to control everything, which makes no sense when we understand that mental abilities are governed by spontaneous physiological rhythms, like those shown to us by Phosphines. Tomorrow, we will move on to the practical exercise together, with my warmest encouragement to the practice of phosphonism.